Today, we are dealing with three cars. Two is a repossession, one is a rental. And this is the reason why I always tell you guys, do not trust these scammers when they show you their material possessions.
Emotional, damn it!
One thing that we all know in this industry is that a forex trader and his car is like this. The more expensive your car, the more students you're going to have because the more successful you are looking. Today, we are going to talk about Flex the Trader, Casey Fuego, and we'll end it off with D Operandi, who had cars that made them look rich, but they actually couldn't really afford them. First up, we've got Flexer. In this photo, you can see he is standing on the wheels of a Mercedes-Benz and what seems to be a Audi RS3. Now, an RS3 is a very popular car in the forex trading industry because not a lot of people can afford it. Not a lot of forex traders even can afford it. So if you have an RS3, it's almost like a little pinnacle of success that you have reached simply because the other guys are driving GTIs and you are driving the GTI killer. But nonetheless, this car ended up on the auction.
What do you mean by that?
I saw this car on someone's TikTok page that frequents auctions a lot. They buy these auction cars, fix it, and then they sell it again. When I saw this video, I cringed because the fact that there were no keys. I'm going to let him explain it to you.
When I start buying and selling auction cars, these are the type of cars I'm going to go for. Obviously, it's a risky endeavor, but I just think of the upside. And yeah, obviously you still need to do your homework and find out why the car has no keys, basically. Was it because the car was repossessed, I don't know, abruptly? Or yeah, what is the reason, basically?
So obviously it was an abrupt repossession because there is no keys. And this is usually when the person whose car is coming to get repossessed doesn't want to comply with what is actually happening right here. So that is the very first case. And it is highly disingenuous because aren't you guys supposed to be successful of trading, or aren't the clients just not buying you guys' unregulated service anymore? Either way, Flex the Trader made his entry coming in at number 1. Number 2 is someone that is not a stranger to this industry. He's not a stranger to the scamming world either because this one, this is a famous scammer. People know already about him. Recently, he bragged with this car and it is an M4, and in this upload you can see Casey says, I fell off and they laughed at me. I woke up and made more money than Bandile. Never give up. That is highly disingenuous of him. Firstly, we know that he hates Bandile simply because while Bandile was in jail, he put money on Bandile's books, hoping that he will get a little something when Bandile gets out. But when Bandile got out, Bandile mised him entirely.
Talo. Sorry.
So he's never forgotten or forgiven Bandile for that. In this one, you can see he uses this car to promote what seems to be either an investment opportunity, an account management opportunity, a signal opportunity, or a mentorship opportunity. And in order for you to promote any one of these, you need to be FSCA regulated. And what we do know is that Casey Fuego is not FSCA regulated. If we head on over to my website and we type in Casey Fuego, you will see his name pops up nowhere. And while you are in my website, head on over to the broker section, check out my top rated brokers, and obviously you know IFX comes recommended in at that number 1 spot, so do check it out. But back to the car. As you guys can see, it's obvious this man was very clearly portraying to have this car when evidently he doesn't have it, or rather we don't know it yet. I'm most now obviously going to show that to you very shortly. But because he doesn't own this car, this makes this fraudulent representation, because the thing is this: a lot of people is going to sign up, based on the fact that they saw the score, based on the fact that they thought if they sign up here, they will be able to buy the score after a few trades. I mean, that is what Casey makes it sounds like, right? But when you take a look at this chat, you will see that Casey is being exposed here. And I mean, harder than he ever could. So first off, this chat shows you that the car is available, not only for purchase, but you can rent it as well, because that is what Casey did. You want to buy it cash or 300k cash, then installment takeover. I look you up with guys who are selling these. Did you sell this one to Casey or he's just renting it? Okay, thanks. He rented it out. So evidently, you cannot trust Casey whenever he is showing anything of material value to you, because 10 to 1, he doesn't own it. And if he has it in his possession in that very moment, I can guarantee you it's a rental. If not, and he wants to argue, he's going to need to show us some RC1 papers. Never ever believe a scammer again when he is showing off his car, trying to punt an investment program to you. Because even though that car may have a number plate, and that is the selling point. Look, I have a number plate, which means it is my car. In the end, it might just turn out to be a rental, which is exactly the case of Casey. Now, I want to kick it up a notch because recently someone's car ended up on auction, and this is a very famous trader. And the moment that happened, we had someone like Tumelo commenting on the situation without actually mentioning names.
But once you are in nothing stops you from having other discussions that have to do with advancing mutual interests as countries do.
And he flat out said that if you sell a car, you're gonna sell it at a dealership for the best price possible. But also, if that car ends up on auction, that car has been repossessed. There's no two ways about it. And you guys can obviously guess who he's speaking about. My bro, load the picture. Yay, not this one, my bro. Not this one. This man is looking a bit therapy here. Yay, not this one either, my bro. We're not trying to make the man look like a recovering meth head, bruh. Nah, the other one. This one. So recently, D Operandi had his car on auction. He actually posted it himself, which is a smart move, because now it's almost like you are taking the narrative and you are controlling it. But obviously, just keep in mind what Tumelo said. And I'm going to show you guys that this doesn't make sense to me at all. Goodbye, Munio 11GP. It was fun, but suspension keeps on failing after spending almost 200,000 Rand to fix it. It is up for auction now if you want to own part of my history. So he's letting the car go because the car costs too much to fix. And this is where his billionaire claims is obviously coming into question, because if he is posting up profits such as this, and you can see it has been watermarked with his logo, so there's no two ways around this. $102,000, that brings you roughly to 1.6 million Rand. You could have surely fixed that car with that and have a lot of change left over, right? What about this screenshot of profits that he posted, which is $106,000, which roughly comes around to 1.7 million Rand? Why didn't he fix the car then? Or why is it a problem if we have counted just in two screenshots 3 million Rand already? But what about this screenshot? $137,000, which is roughly 2.2 million Rand. You see, that 200 Rand that we stress about when we are about to pay our stuff at the till. That is how it should not feel for this man, because him being a billionaire, he shouldn't even feel 200k, especially if one profit roll equates to 2.2 million Rand. Now, I don't want to go all out there. Let's bring the sizes of the profits down to local numbers that me and you can fathom. Here you see a profit roll for $48,000, and that is roughly 782,000 rand. He could have fixed that suspension without having any problems. And also, how have you spent 200k at the Mercedes dealership at a Mercedes approved mechanic and you still have that problem? It doesn't make sense to me. But here you guys can see 782,000 rand. He clearly can afford it. Last screenshot that I want to bring into question is this $14,000 screenshot. And this equates to around about 225,000 rand. He could have fixed Munio 11GP and then still have change left for some chicken licken. But you see, the problem here is this man is lying. And I have been bringing these screenshots of profits into question. And people are actually thinking, Rido, you're just talking a whole bunch of cuck. But now that we are placing figures next to one another, you can actually see that, somewhere something isn't right here.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
And also, if he says he had his time with the car, why not fix the car and then sell it at a much higher price? Or can't you do that because it will rip your bank account in half? I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that time and time again, Dioperandi is constantly showing us that he is not a billionaire simply by how he moves. This breakdown was obviously not to sow any hate towards any of these guys, but it's obviously to educate you guys on the pitfalls of believing people when they are showing you their earthly possessions. Because while you are believing that earthly possession may be theirs based on the screenshots that they are posting, you might just be in for a huge shock once the truth comes out. If you enjoyed today's breakdown, please do smash that like button. Leave your comments in the comment section because I'm keen to hear what you guys have to say about these cars being repoed and being a rental, especially Dioperandi's car. And share this please guys so that others can get the awareness as well. And if you're new here, I welcome you to my channel. Please do find that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification icon as well so that you can be notified when I drop the next investigation. Speaking about the next investigation, I will be dropping a short documentary on Morita Forestry Investments because what has been happening there is too big for me to ignore. My research is done, my scripting is done, and you should have that video in the next day or two. Thank you so much for your support. I sincerely appreciate it. Mr. Scam Exposer, out.
I would like to thank IFX for sponsoring today's video. IFX Brokers offers a wide variety of trading account types designed to meet the needs of all types of traders. From the standard account for the beginners to premium accounts with tighter spreads, all the way to VIP and Islamic accounts for a more specialized trading journey. IFX Brokers provides the flexibility and tools that you need to trade with confidence. To get started, click the link in my description, choose an account type that suits your needs, make a deposit and start trading. It's that simple. Once again, thank you to IFX Brokers for sponsoring today's video. And always remember, trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Always trade responsibly.